Now we're live.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back with round 3. We've got Aqeelah Davis versus Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the ex-NBA basketball player Michael Jordan.
It's a pity you can't see his full height because he's pretty tall.
He's a pretty tall guy.
Yeah, we're good.
So we're just going to turn those off and those off so it's not confusing, but there we go. Why does that still say Shane?
Because that's Aqeelah's
There we
boyfriend.
go. Well, there you go. Okay, and we've got young Christopher helping us out. We also have our round timer in the bottom corner this time. And food, apparently.
Oh. Buy a donkey Pioneer. That's yours.
Sweet.
Some ham and cheese.
Did we get extra chippies?
I'm missing the chippy. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Ha ha ha. I'm back after nearly burning my legs off with a hot chip. Sounds terrible. It's an 80s pickup line. Okay, so we're going through the cut process and the shuffling. We have got deck lists available to us now, so we can go through all of the good stuffs in terms of cards and things.
So just to start off, I think Aqeelah's got the general standard, I say standard build, but it looks like almost a modern playable deck: Spy Buff, Kunal, Soulscar Mage, Sprite Dragons, Monastery Swiftspear. Oh, a nice interesting fan favorite, Storm Chaser Mage. One of my pet cards. Never been great in modern, but maybe this is the place for it to shine. And we got Orzhov, Orzhov Knights.
It looks like Orzhov Knights.
Is there any Knight of the Ebon Legion? Pretty strong there.
Yep.
Fighters 1 is quite nice.
It's a tournament.
Sorry about that interruption. Venerable Knight, Wintermoor Commander. Worthy Knight. Again with the cuts. I'm thinking this has been some mulligans. If you're hearing any crunchy sounds, it's just because it is lunchtime. We are hungry people.
How do you feed a hungry man? Sing it, Rebecca.
Eventually we'll kick Adam out of the room.
Yeah. Just tell us and we'll do it.
Yeah. +1 Adam Skop.
We'll run the polls.
Okay.
Let's just see on the play. I think Michael might have won the die roll. I think I saw Aqeelah on one.
Was that Luris? That is Luris.
Yeah. Luris is a companion. Yes, there's it there at the third from the
There,
bottom.
got it. Okay.
So nice down to the ground.
Snarl coming in from Michael and a mountain from Aqeelah.
Someone
Tapping that mountain.
Soulscar Mage. Nice turn 1 fam. There's a really good actual. Soulscar Mage is really good in this format or especially when you're playing against creatures, allowing the -1/-1 counters to stay on the creatures, so reducing the size of the knights. Ooh. Is that the Night Lord?
That's the Corpse Knight.
Yeah, the one that gives other knights +1/+1.
No, it doesn't give +1/+1, but whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life, your opponent loses 1 life.
Oh, the Drain.
Yeah.
Night Drainer. Sounds like it should be a vampire as well.
It's a zombie knight.
Zombie Knight.
It is a zombie knight.
Not a vampire knight.
Another mountain from Aqeelah.
So looking for a blue source, hopefully to turn on a door.
Swinging with the Soulscar Mage.
Is it a 2/2?
It's a 1/2. I think the Corpse Knight is a 1/2. We can check that out real quick. It's a 2/2.
2/2, yeah.
So taking the 1, it looks like.
And then I think, shocking him to
And then
face.
shocking into face.
Yeah, to do an extra 2 damage, so that
So
would
go
be
to
4 damage.
Go to 4 damage.
16. Going down to 16. 6 damage.
6 damage. My goodness.
7 damage.
7 damage.
Double shock and 2 prowess triggers, so that's 7 damage down to 13.
That's a oof.
Yeah, Aqeelah's a very progressive player. If you've ever played against her in Commander, I don't play Commander, but I've heard she just has the most degenerate decks. So I'm just waiting for her to make her modern appearance.
What class is that just came in? The class just hit the board.
I think that's Ranger class, or the one that makes
Paladin class.
Paladin class. Yes, that's the one where you can't cast the spell. It costs more to cast the spells in your opponent's turn.
Correct.
And so I think if you want to use a nice one is Scryfall. This is what I use for deck building.
Cool.
I
I just do the search and find a picture.
Yeah. Well, Scryfall allows you to filter any standard modern cards, so amazing for new deck builders. Oh, Monastery Swiftspear also getting really fast, really aggressive. Yo.
So how much damage is that then? 2 damage.
Okay. I think she's holding up maybe some removal. So, what's it? What do you call it when you upgrade it?
Leveling up.
Leveling up. Oh yeah.
So going to level 2, creatures you control get +1/+1. Corpse Knight's now 3/3, swinging in. Aqeelah taking the 3 damage.
Yeah. I feel that's a bit aggressive, and seeing as Aqeelah has been firing off spells and not even feeling afraid of sending off any of the damage spells at the creatures. You know.
Another mountain, still looking for that blue source.
Yeah. So it's probably
Another swing.
Blue spells. So it looks like she doesn't
3
play any light
damage.
up the stages.
Is that 3 damage? It'll be 1 and
2? Just 2 damage.
2 damage. So going to 9.
With both 1/2s, requiring spells to pump them up. So it could feel like a little bit of a wizard's tribal synergy here, but I think it's just prowess. Let me go have a look at what that is.
I'm not sure exactly what that is.
It's a noble knight.
Noble Knight 2/4.
MTG. No? Maybe I got that wrong.
Maybe you got that wrong. Blue source on the board for Aqeelah.
Novice knight. Looks like noble upside down.
Looks like who?
Novice knight.
Novice. Okay, cool.
Blue source on the keyboard.
Or red. Just changing sources.
Say again.
She took a damage.
Okay, so she's on how many? 16. 11. 11? How'd she get to 11?
I think there was the knight.
Okay,
Or
we
the
must have
ranger
missed
class.
something.
I think it was two attract triggers with the ranger class, or was it ranger? No, ranger class is the green one.
Paladin class.
Paladin class. An 8. Perfect.
Updating live titles as we go.
Nice.
Live titles? I like live titles.
I take it.
It's the best type of title ever.
Not taters that we're eating right now.
They sell that at Pick and Pay $49.99
Wow.
per kg.
I've titled.
Yeah, there's live taters. I'm a fan of taters.
So putting a body in front of the corpse knight.
Okay. I think that's a banishing, or it's basically one of those deal 5 damage or 2 damage, 4 damage
To a blocking creature.
attacking a blocking creature, if I'm not mistaken. Really versatile removal spell. Good for creature decks.
Yep.
So I think Aqeelah is hoping to ride this Storm Chaser Mage since the ground is getting gummed up.
Is that a shock land?
Yeah, taking 2 damage.
So take 2 damage. To go to 9. But she now has blue sources on the board. like a good Worcester sauce.
Are you sure? Not Worcestershire
Don't
sauce.
say the whole thing. Nobody says the whole thing. Even the people who live there. So that's an opt. So immediately, are there any prowess triggers we need to be looking at?
Yeah, definitely prowess trigger.
Okay.
So you can see Aqeelah valuing the Soulscar Mage because of its -1/-1 counters. Okay, opt, I think finding this Monastery Suspia, otherwise she would have played it pre-combat.
Sure.
I mean pre-opt. So you can see starting to fire off her blue spells. Had she had this blue source a little bit earlier, she would have been, Curious Obsession, really good card advantage there.
Both on 8.
Both on 8. Yeah.
So just updating life totals for you again.
Yeah. So I think she took a damage off the Shivan Reef there. So Curious Obsession, forcing her to attack, but that's pretty much free because
It's a flyer.
It's a flyer, so giving her evasion. Also allowing her to draw a card every turn. Really.
Also another prowess trigger off of that Curious Obsession.
Yes, because it's non-creature spells,
Yep.
unlike the new versions of prowess where I think it was in the mage schools of Strixhaven where it's
Instant or sorcery.
Instant or sorcery. So magecraft versus prowess a little different, although they feel the same in the styles of deck that they played.
So it's going to be a big hit.
For 3. So opt, Curious
Opt and the
Obsession.
Curious Obsession. So that's
So
two prowess triggers.
Bone Crusher Giants also for 3.
Thanks, Adam.
Give you guys a while.
Let's just stomp Adam quickly.
Don't think it'll help. How much damage is that's being dealt? It could be quite a big swing.
So I think it's 3/4 in the air because Curious Obsession also gives them +1/+1.
4 damage?
4 damage in
4
the air.
damage going through to Michael,
So on
putting
4,
him on 4,
and then
which means, depending on what spell she's got to play next turn, Aqeelah might have lethal.
So really heads up play by Aqeelah to keep the Swiftspear back. Most people might say, hey, let's go a little bit wider, but being on 8, I think she's valuing the blocker of Monastery Swiftspear and really playing towards, I think she's all in on the Storm Chaser Mage,
Sure.
which is, is that the rally?
That's really the ranks.
+1/+1 to each knight, I'm guessing. I'm guessing he was naming knights.
I would name knights. So now that Corpse Knight is a 4/4. The Novice Knight,
Is a 3/5, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
Oh,
is a 4/6.
Oh, 4/6 with the
Because of the Paladin
red
class.
class. Yo.
So
So-
4/4 swing with the Corpse Knight.
So I think there might be a removal spell or a damage spell to skewer the critics.
No, that's the new one.
The 2 damage to a creature.
Yeah.
And if it's a player, you get to scry one.
Yeah.
The shot with scry. Play with fire.
Play with fire.
Yeah. I actually saw the card today because someone sent me the deck list for Izzet Phoenix, and I was like, "What's this card?" I've never seen this before.
But she does block
She does block to
to prevent the damage coming through.
but I think she went to face there for 2 damage. Playing the opt because that will give her enough to close out the game in the air. We'll see if she attacks and we get the scoop from Michael Jordan.
Because you're done.
Jordan, I'm sorry, man. It's you can clearly see I didn't do Afrikaans in high school. Yeah.
Takes first game. Aqeelah takes game 1.
Nice. Assume that. So, as we said, Aqeelah, really strong player. You can see really early on, never feigning a burn spell at a creature, knowing that she has to go all out to face to really put out the tempo.
Yep.
And Prowess really plays as a tempo deck more than it plays as an aggro deck. So it's looking to get ahead early on and then maintain that advantage as it goes through.
Let's have a look at some sideboarding options here. So for Michael Jordan, we've got a Crippling Fear, Dire Tactics, Fractures, Kai's Ghost Form, Legion's End, obviously Luris's Companion, Necromentia. Now that's a really interesting card. Soul Guide Land. So Necromentia is the 1 and 2 black
to search library.
to search library and hand and graveyard and exile a particular card.
Very interesting. He's running 4 of those.
If those cards are removed from your opponent's hand, though, your opponent gets a 2/2 zombie.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to come up in this matchup. I think that's there for the combo. So that could be Lotus Field. Probably a big fear against Lotus Field or the more combo decks. I'm very interested to know why he ran 4. Usually you'd see 1, 2, maybe a push on 3.
Sure.
Because it's obviously a 3-mana spell, very expensive. But maybe valuing that to shore up certain sideboard matches. But I think the Crippling Fear, the -2/-2, really good in this matchup.
Minus
So I think
3. Isn't it -3?
Yeah.
Crippling Fear?
Oh, you name a creature, you name something, you name a thing.
Everything else
Yeah,
gets -3/-3.
So you'll probably so Crippling Fear really good for the creature decks.
Because you can name knights, and then anything that's not a knight pretty much dies.
It's also a new card, I think. If it's when I say new card, it's currently in standard.
Yep.
We saw a lot. I saw a lot of it yesterday.
There's a lot of Crippling Fear yesterday in standard.
Yeah. So
If you were Aqeelah, would you be looking to bring anything in? I mean, the deck ran the way it should.
I think Searing Blood, isn't that the one to deals 2 damage to creature and I think it's also creature and player. So I just got to double check that quickly. Deals 2 damage to a creature. When that creature dies, Searing Blood deals 3
damage to that creature's controller.
Yeah.
That could be useful.
So I think Searing Blood might be the removal choice she's looking for here, allowing her to get damage to face, allowing her to get damage through. Also, looking at the way the game played out, she's got 4 Brazen Borrowers, so that might actually be a really good tempo swing, allowing her to bounce a creature, so it's not reducing her spell density, requiring them to trigger her prowess, but also allowing her to add another aerial threat, which, as you saw, closed out the game pretty easily because Michael kind of clogs up the ground they get pretty big, pretty
So
quickly.
I'm sort of looking at his deck, and I'm not seeing anything that sort of particularly targets anything in the air. So if she does go aerial,
Possibly looking at the 2 fractures. I know that hits creatures and things, but however, it's sorcery based. So with Aqeelah having prowess triggers, she has the opportunity to grow the creatures out of the. I think if fractures just destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker.
I think so. Let's have a look quickly.
It's not the rip apart one.
No.
Which is 3 damage.
No,
to
because
creature.
that's Boros. That's red-white.
Yeah. So fracture. So fracture might. Yeah.
Destroy artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker.
So no creature there. So I don't
nothing, no targets for that.
Yeah, so no targets for that. If he feels Curious Obsession is something you will worry about, but honestly, if he's citing that in, he has to deal with the creature that it's attached to. So
Sure.
that's where we're going for that. So we're looking to see how these players have sideboarded. I mean, sideboarding is a very technical aspect. It's probably the most important aspect of playing competitive Magics because as you get better and as you start to build decks, every deck is built to win game 1.
Sure.
So game 2, game 3, it usually comes down to who's on the play, who's on the draw, and your sideboarding, as we saw with Kiran and Yudir, changing a little bit of the configuration depending on whether they're on the play or on the draw. That's where you're kind of leveling up as a player.
Sure.
Where you want to be really pushing out that small edges. So let's see how they sideboarded. I think let's see if our predictions are correct. We're not 100% sure.
We'll never know until we see the cards.
Yeah. If I could read minds, I'd be winning this game.
Okay, Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Really strong start off.
Really strong start.
That can grow and get big pretty quickly. That's one way if your opponent loses life, you put +1/+1 counter on it.
I'm not sure. I think you can pump it.
It does get +2/+2. I think that's the.
So Knight of the Ebon Legion gets +3/+3 if you pay 2 and a black, gains Death Touch until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Knight of the Ebon Legion. But already with an answer from Aqeelah, putting a creature down in the way. What is that guy?
Soulscar Mage.
Soulscar Mage is back. Okay, so the prowess on the board already.
Monastery Swift Spear without the haste. But it does have.
A worthy knight coming down. Michael looking to play out his board as fast as possible. It's only a 2/2 though, so whenever you play another knight, it creates a 1/1 human.
Oh wow, that's pretty strong to get it wide. allowing him a bit of better board presence on the ground.
But that's if it stays. Remember, Aqeelah's deck is built around. I'm assuming she shocked that in. Does she need to shock that in?
No, that's a Spy Bluff Canal.
Okay, so it just comes in
Untapped. third land.
untapped because. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's one of they call it fast lands.
Fast land, yeah.
Yeah. The check lands are the ones that.
Okay, swinging. So obviously she's got spells.
We're hoping, because.
I mean, or it could be a bluff.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of those players that will take.
Okay, and she's going to go for it. She's going to opt. So there's a prowess trigger.
Deciding whether she wants to keep. So, nice.
Drawing the card
Keep.
she scryed into. Tap a red.
Cheers.
Playing with fire.
So you can see how the difference in gameplay is looking to deal 2 damage. Considering it, I think in this position, being on the draw, she might be more interested in that. But the real question is whether she values being able to kill one creature or the wide.
So getting rid of the worthy knight, I think that's the right call to make.
Yeah, I mean,
simply
it's
because
tough call.
all the knights that come down are just going to make the board presence go very, very wide, and it could become a problem later on, especially if she's focusing on getting her prowess triggers out. 3 damage to the face of Michael Jordan. Taking him to 17. And also getting rid of that worthy knight, which is a major engine in this knight's deck.
Do you want some more put? And you can see Aqeelah really respecting that, which was the knight that makes 1+1.
The worthy knight.
The worthy knight. Really respecting how certain things they can snowball. Right?
Yeah.
Some people might say, because the Ebon Legion can get pumped up next turn to get the +1/+1 counter on it.
Correct.
Which is huge.
Oh, here we go. Rally the ranks. Coming down, naming knights, I assume. So already that even lead has gone up +1/+1, and now we've got a. I can't remember the name of that knight, but
that's the one that.
Death Touch.
1/1 Death Toucher, and then you can play it for
2 damage. Okay, so just a 2.
I think you can draw a card if I'm not mistaken. Or
if you play the sorcery side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and lose a life.
Yeah. I think it was like nice uncommon. Yeah. Can't remember that.
Dire something knight.
Yeah.
It'll be, you know what? It'll be in the deck list. Let's go have a look, see. Foulmire Knight, there we go.
Yes.
It's the Foulmire Knight. So if you play Profane Insight, you pay 2 and a black, you get to draw a card and you lose a life. Send the knight on the adventure and then bring it back. So now we've got
a advantage for a creature deck.
a pathway coming down from Aqeelah on the red side. So now we've got 2, we've got basically 2 red and a blue available to her. Interesting that Michael chose to play the Foulmire Knight before combat and then swing.
Ooh,
no.
Sprite Dragon. Oh, that.
Sprite Dragon flying, every time you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It can become big and dangerous very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, in modern, I know I've played Izzet Prowess. That card
it does have haste. Foulmire Knight's going to block the Soulscar Mage with its Death Touch, so unless Aqeelah kills the Foulmire Knight before damage is dealt, shocking your face. I think they're discussing it now. So shock 2 damage to the Foulmire Knight to keep her Soulscar Mage alive.
I feel that's a very interesting play. If she was going to go for the shock, she should have definitely shocked it before allowing her to get the extra 2 damage across.
Sure, but she does get the +1/+1 counter on the
Sprite Dragon.
on the Sprite Dragon,
and this is where
which now becomes a 3/3.
2/2.
2/2. It starts at a 1/1.
So the reason I say that is that if you knew he was going to block, I think she was just obviously testing the waters, but how he valued that. So that might be the reason why she didn't shock it before damage.
Sure.
Yeah, taking 2 damage in the air.
2 damage in the air from the Sprite Dragon.
So when we look at this, this is a consideration. Sometimes that information is more valuable to you than the 2 damage, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to know how your opponent's looking at valuing their creatures. So if he is trying to hold back and get their, if he values trying to keep the knight to kind of go in for damage, so then he's looking at a more aggressive line
Sure.
versus a more defensive line. So, knowing that you're going to shock it, that insight is more valuable than the 2 damage that she was going to get from the prowess trigger.
Sure.
So, allowing her for a better understanding in the long game and really allowing her to carve out a better kind of winning percentage. Even though you might not win a turn earlier, you're guaranteeing that win in the future.
As the game goes on.
Yeah. So what I found very interesting is Michael hasn't really pumped up the Legion, and I think if he had chosen to, because she's valuing the Soulscar Mage because it can always reduce the creature, can always take off the 1/1 counters because it's -1/-1 ability that's static. What is this that he's just
I'll tell you
playing?
now.
It is a.
I think it's the Forsworn Paladin. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Forsworn Paladin. Yeah, it's the Forsworn Paladin, which is a 1/1 with Menace. Pay 1 in a black, pay 1 life credit, treasure token. He has got the mana open to be able to pump that Knight of the Ebon Legion if he chooses to now. I can't see why he wouldn't at this point. So
He's choosing not to.
choosing not to,
Maybe-
again, just taking 2 damage to
Let's
Aqeelah.
see what damage spell. Does he have any instant interaction that he might be holding up?
We can have a look quickly. Let's go back to the deck list.
Or it could also just be sometimes a small.
He's got Sheltering Light.
Yeah. Sheltering Light, what does that do?
I think it's a protection from a color of your choice.
Yeah, so that's a protection spell. Maybe thinking that Aqeelah might point some damage spells to.
Yeah, that's what he played earlier. So target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Scry 1.
So ping 2. Okay.
Oh,
flash.
Black Lance Paragon flashing in.
Okay, that's what he was doing. That's what was up.
So that's what he was holding on for. That's a 3/1, and I believe it has a trigger as it ETBs.
So the interesting thing with these 2 decks is they're both trying to. So Izzet's more of a tempo deck, whereas the Michael's a more aggro deck, and he hasn't been very aggressive in terms of playing to that. I think the fear of dying or
Just getting burned out, basically.
Yeah, so sometimes you can't be too defensive in these. Too defensive with the options again.
Okay, so playing with fire takes care of the Black Lance Paragon.
So
But the Paragon does stop the Soulscar Mage. Does, however, get a trigger on the Sprite Dragon, which goes to 3.
Yeah, so he's got to start worrying about these dragons, and this is where I said.
So that's 3 damage, yeah.
This is where I thought the Brazen Borrower would be a really good spell for Aqeelah, because it obviously gives you that Eldraine advantage,
Sure.
which is the 2-for-1 in 1 card.
Yep.
And you can see how susceptible Michael is to the air. Not having any ability to interact with the air is huge here. So he's just sitting there and
Taking it, Sprite Dragon's going to beat him down.
Yeah, I mean that's a beat stick. I mean it looks like an innocuous 1/1 with haste, but that becomes I call it the Prowess Tomahawk.
So another Knight of the Ebon Legion coming down after combat, where it would have been 3 damage, 4 damage,
So it gets the +1/+1,
because of the Rally the Ranks,
and both will get triggered.
which does trigger both of his knights, which are now bigger. So that would be 4 damage to Aqeelah. Takes her to 12. So life total is equal on 12.
But I think Aqeelah might be winning this race if she can. Oh, yep.
Another flyer.
Another flyer. I say that, although Rally the Ranks and the Legions are getting out of hand. So this is where you've got to question whether they should have taken. Rally the Ranks has actually been really good here, eliminating a lot of the 2 damage spells in Aqeelah's deck, because most of it is just 2 damage. The only thing that you have at 3 damage would be Lightning Strike. No Lightning Bolt in this format.
12-12.
Yeah. So
Confirmation of life totals at 12-12.
So that Lightning Strike also starting to maybe look like a dead card. So Aqeelah has to try and push this out, because Michael's definitely turning the corner.
Okay, so that was a swing with the Sprite Dragon for 3 in the air.
Yeah, holding back the Storm Chaser
So
Mage.
Michael goes to 9, not 98 according to my keyboard. And a swing from Michael with the team. So 2 from the Forsworn Paladin. And then 2, 3.
So that's so we're also having a pump on the
It's got it open. He can pump one of them. That's for sure.
+3/+3, right? If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. So that's 5. That'll be 2, 3 from the paladin class. That's 6. They can go up to. Yeah.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
He's pumping one of them.
3.
So he becomes a 5/5.
No, it's a 6 because of the paladin class. So it's
It's
going
not
to be
paladin class. It's rally the ranks.
rally the rank. Sorry. So it'll be 6 because of the 1 on that, the 1 token, the +3/+3.
That is a big hit.
Yeah.
12 damage. That's lethal to the
Yeah.
face. Done.
Yeah. So
That was a big swing. So got there in the end with those Ebon Legions. Again, we called it when they landed right in the beginning of the game. Those cards can get out of hand.
yeah.
If you don't check them,
And I think that the misplay from Aqeelah was probably at that point was she should have let the Soulscar Mage take the damage, played the shock on the Legion, so put 2 -1/-1 counters regardless, and that way because when she's on the draw, she has to kind of take the control route in the game because. If he's onto the board, she's going to have to go a little bit wider. And already she saw in the first game how she got outclassed in terms of size. So she can't, obviously, it's a very tight rope she has to walk, whether she goes for it, like killing all the creatures, or whether she actually plays into that more tempo role. So
just answering a first-time chat from iJedi. Thank you for joining chat. Welcome. Tournament location is in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Yeah, at the Nexus.
At the Nexus. So if you're in the area,
you're welcome to pop in and have a look at the games and spectate and buy some cards.
Yeah, and we've got a modern event tomorrow. So
yeah, that's going to be one of the bigger events in South Africa. Modern is one of the more competitive formats.
And popular formats. Big format.
As a non-rotating, although we are trying to build up Pioneer as that non-rotating. South Africa really likes non-rotating formats. Standard, not the kind of ideal one, just because of our exchange rates and,
availability.
Cards aren't as easily accessible. I mean, if you go to the States, no one's trying to hold on to cards because they might not get it like the way they do in South Africa.
Exactly, yeah.
Where you can just take it.
We're all miserly with our cards down here. It's like, you want to trade? No, go away.
That's my goal. So I think there were 2 misplays from Aqeelah there. So not pointing so those 2, when we discussed that, not shocking the 1/1 Death Toucher and allowing the damage
before combat, sure.
Yeah, so that would have put that would have been an extra 4 damage that she would have been.
Straight away we've got damage coming in.
Monastery Swift Spear down to 19.
So that's a 1 damage to Michael's face, turn 1.
Yeah. So if she had done that, she might have put him on a little bit more of a point where if he attacked, he could have been dead on the crackback. So he might be a little bit more conservative on that.
Again, we've got a Knight of the Ebon Legion coming down.
Yeah. Hopefully she respects it a little bit more this time.
Yeah.
I think...
for my personal preference, somebody plays that against me, I'm going to try and get rid of it as fast as possible.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Simply because I know how dangerous it can be.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to play certain decks to see how abusive some cards are, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes... one of the cards that I never respected was Esper Sentinel. I was just like, whatever, just draw your cards. And then it drew them 8 cards. And I'm like, my God, why did I lose?
Okay, and there it is, straight away. Playing with fire gets rid of the Knight of the Ebon Legion straight away.
Gotten burnt once, not going to get burnt twice.
Is there a prowess trigger over there?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, stateside here. Yeah, we trade a lot. Yeah, you guys have that ability. Okay.
1 damage. Really putting a curious deception on the thing. So maybe valuing the card advantage pretty early.
So Aqeelah taking 1 damage for using that land.
Shivan Reef.
And then dealing 4 damage.
Yeah, +2. Oh, she got the skewer and she did the...
To Michael's face.
Mm-hmm. So
Aqeelah coming out very aggressively this game, and I think she has to, because if Michael gets any kind of board state like he did last time, with the kinds of cards he had last time, he could do it again.
Yeah.
So
I think you can see Aqeelah definitely respecting the board presence, right? So she probably has the removal spell, another one for this one. playing another Shivan Reef, so this might actually be relatively costly for her.
Well, every time she taps one of those reefs, she has to pay 1 life.
Yeah, also known as pain lands. Really, really painful.
But a worthy knight on the board for Michael. So any other knight that comes down, he gets a 1/1 human. The question is, how long is that worthy knight going to stay on the board?
Yeah.
It is only a 2/2, and it will get killed with the
No,
plague
the
of fire.
reason also is that if Aqeelah doesn't attack with the Soulscar Mage, the Curious Obsession falls off.
Correct.
So this is why I thought it was a bit interesting for her to play it, because it's one of her best cards. Loses a life, yeah. It's one of her best cards in this matchup to really refuel her hand and keep things going. Oh, going for the opt.
There's the opt. Oh, do we have a prowess trigger on?
Yeah, 2 prowess triggers
for
already.
sure already.
So it's already four damage. Looking at 4 damage.
Yeah.
Taking me to 11. So the question is, can she find a flyer to close out the
Coming
game?
in for 4 damage, no blockers.
Yeah.
Tapping the other. Is she going to do it?
Yeah,
she's going to go for it.
She has to try and find that.
So she goes to 17.
2.
And then what is the final tally on her prowess triggers, depending on what she's playing right now?
Yeah, she gets another one that will be 5 damage, depending on whether...
Jedi, I really just want to say I appreciate you tuning in and watching. We'd love to know your thoughts on our stream and if you've got any suggestions for improvements.
Another up.
Another up. So there's another prowess
So
trigger.
that's 5 damage. So taking him down to 10. Yep.
5 damage takes Michael down to 10.
Draws
She also
a
gets to
card.
draw a card off
Yeah.
of the obsession.
So so let's see. If Michael can at least get something to stick, he might stay on the bleeding. But the way Aqeelah's been drawing cards and kind of digging through a library, I feel like she might have a lightning strike for anything he plays, which is huge.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's a bit behind already.
Yeah,
Corpse Knight on the board again. It's just a 2/2 though, so it'll eat a shock or
Well, technically, all Aqeelah has to do is attack with it. She doesn't have to connect. The Curious Obsession says you're forced to attack. So she doesn't have to. It's not going to be a trade unless they have something. Unless Michael has something to respond to. So this is going to be a very, very interesting turn for Aqeelah, because this if she doesn't get through this. You might see Michael start to stabilize, and this is where I say if she's now she's going wide.
So Soulscar Mage.
So if she
Another
gets
one
another
coming
power,
in.
if she's got a removal spell, I think it might be game over here. I don't think Michael can get back, because any burn spells after that's just going to go straight to face.
I would imagine that would be the right move though. If Aqeelah wants to close this out quickly, that's what she's going to be thinking about doing.
Yeah, to take that thing take it off the table. Let's see. So you can see, so she's
Okay, so here comes the attack.
Like she's used 2 ops. So the question is,
She's still got 2 mana available to her, so she can cast 2 more spells.
yeah. So she's saying wait. Okay, cool. She's just considering before blocks, just to know if she wants to shock or not to shock.
Okay, so paying the 1 life.
Yeah. And you can see,
Shock goes in.
goes for the space.
I'm guessing we're seeing a shelter here. Yeah, gets indestructible.
Yeah.
And he gets to scry.
Right. So that's fine. Just because it gives her prowess, she's going to get the 2 damage across, taking him down to 8. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Jedi.
We are trying to bring up the South African community to really bring up the profile.
Paying another 1. Sorry, just to interrupt.
Yeah.
Casting. Whoa.
Yeah, well, we're big fans of the Star City games, all of the content, mana traders.
2 damage.
Yeah, from the prowess triggers. So we have a big influence
Michael
from the
goes
States.
to 8.
Obviously, the game coming from the States.
So what are life totals? We're just getting an update on life totals.
Yeah,
Just to make
Constructed
sure.
is so good.
Yeah. 5 and 16.
16.
Okay, just updating life totals really quickly with the damages that have been dealt, etc.
So if you want some constructed, tomorrow is going to be modern, which is going to be... Ooh.
Oh, so we have a worthy knight. Not a worthy knight,
14.
14. So venerable knight,
So that's the Shivan Reefs taking her down.
venerable knight and a Foulmire knight. So we've got a death touch knight, and we've got the knight that, if that knight dies, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on another knight you control.
Oh, wow.
And it's a 2/1.
So this is where she's really looking for that flyers, right?
Yeah,
Because-
she's got to grab some flyers. Because
Yeah.
right now, the board stat on the ground is very much in Michael's favor.
And this is again where I would say,
7 and 11.
yeah,
Our life titles are jumping around here a little bit.
yeah, gaining life and losing life. So, and this is where I think that the flyers would have been huge to bounce creatures, getting around some indestructible, getting around the indestructible triggers and saving creatures. So, and this is where I feel the prowess deck sometimes is a little fragile. You know, the 1/2s are good, they're very explosive if you can get it through. But as soon as your opponent starts to stabilize, you're really sitting on the edge of your seat, like hoping that you're top decking the right moment. And let's not also take from the fact that Aqeelah's lands.
She's been stuck on 3 land for about 4 turns now.
But the Shivan Reefs of what I think she's taken about almost 8 damage.
yes,
Which is huge when you're playing an aggro deck.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
especially if self-inflicted damage is never a good thing.
Yeah.
So doing it again, she goes to 10. Just want to say to you, Jedi, if you give us a follow, you'll get notified when we start our stream tomorrow. So she did board in the spell we spoke about,
Yeah, the Searing Blood.
the Searing Blood, which deals damage to the controller as
3.
well. Takes him down
3.
to 4. So
Yeah.
we're on 4 and 10.
Looking at a block here. Yeah.
Okay, so the Venerable Knight blocking in, which means if it dies, we'll be able to put a +1/+1 counter on another knight. Whether that knight will be the Corpse Knight or the Black Lance Paragon, we'll have to wait and see.
So,
It's going on the Corpse Knight. Corpse Knight's now at 3/3. So no damage dealt to Michael from that combat phase.
very interesting. She didn't attack with the other skull sum,
Soul Skull.
Monastery Swiftspear, just to force the chump block on the side, right? Because the other knight's only a 2/2 or 2.
It's a 3/1.
A 3/1. So even though you get the chump block,
Okay, Worthy Knight comes in, triggers the Corpse Knight, which says
Ooh, this is not a good feeling for
Aqeelah loses 1, Michael gains 1. He's going to swing for 6. With a 3/3 and a 3/1.
Just speaking to iJedi,
Yep.
I was playing in America when I was.
There's a trade there. 3 damage. Aqeelah should be on 6. So Aqeelah goes to 6. Michael's on 5. This is coming down close.
And these pain lands are really hurting her. You
Yeah.
know? And this is sometimes something you got to think about when building your decks. You know, Shivan Reefs also still was played in Storm. I think they've taken that out
Yep.
of the old Storm shells in Modern, just because of that pain. We've seen a lot of burn and prowess in the South African meta. So those, it's like giving your opponents a free win or
Sure.
free damage. So. Oh, and I told you when we started this game, it was very interesting that she put it on the Swiftspear, but you know, not on an evasive creature. So if she finds something here, she's got a chance of getting through, and you know, really valuing a flyer would be. Let's see if the girls can represent here in SA.
Can she bring it back?
Taking 2 damage here.
2 damage from that.
Does she have a burn spell?
So she's going to go to 4 just on the cast. No damage from the land? Why? Tapping them for colorless.
Yeah.
Oh, clever.
Yeah, Wizard's Lightning. So I'm surprised she didn't take the 1/1 and
See, the Wizard's Lightning, I would have taken care of the Worthy Knight.
yeah, because it looks like you have to go for it this turn. But I think her opponent's hellbent right now.
No, there we go.
No cards in hand, so that's also a reason for going for that, is that you could take it out.
4 for Michael. Okay. And we've got a Forsworn Paladin coming in.
So, and this is also the reason why you would want to bolt the creature to get in that extra damage, because that would have forced another Wizard's Lightning
And that's
to the face.
To the face and game.
Oh, nice. Well done, Aqeelah, for dealing. Look at nice, good covert rules.
Curved rules.
And Aqeelah taking it under stream. Well done, girls. Both girls winning on stream.
Here we go. So
Really showing us.
Aqeelah wins round 3 against Michael your Dawn that still hasn't updated, even from way back in the day.
Yeah.
But we'll do it now.
A little
we
bit
go.
taller than the
A little bit,
Jordan.
yeah, for sure. But okay, great. So that's round 3. We will be back shortly with round 4. So don't go anywhere. Don't forget tomorrow, Modern. We've got a full house here at the Nexus tomorrow.
I'll be playing. Really excited for that, and we'll have all the updates just like we have it right now.
Absolutely. So stay in touch. We'll be right back. Don't go away.